Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the final video of the video course. So I thought it would be a good idea to make some concluding remarks, to say some very important things. Okay, all right. So by now you have seen it all, yeah. You have studied all the material, so you understand what the principles are, how the smart money algorithms operate, how the market manipulation is conducted by the smart money algos, what kind of principles you need to be aware of. So as you can see, all the material, the market causality as I call it, goes far beyond simple stop runs or simple position runs. But in fact, I showed you exactly in which situations the dumb money is actually allowed to win. So these are the meta levels, and hopefully you studied them carefully. So make sure to go back if necessary. And on top of that, sorry for that, that's better. On top of that, I have shown you how this can be traded, how I have traded that over quite some time period. And by now it should be pretty clear, that the market causality as such, so, the analysis of why an FX market goes up or down, why it's pushed in one direction by the smart money algos, that's an open area, so to speak, because the way you actually take advantage of it is on, another chapter, so to speak. So let me repeat once more. Some people, they already have a way of approaching the market. So they may even have a complete system, let's say a statistical system. They may try to just filter signals from that system based on the causality bias. That's one way. Other people may have different automated strategies, and they may decide when to switch on which strategy depending on the causality bias in that market. Or they may underweight, overweight those strategies. Other people, may just look for good moments to physically exchange one currency for another, and they may just wait until the bias is clearer to have an edge. Other people may just be, classical trend followers, and they long-term traders just looking for trades where the dumb money goes on one side, and they try to ride it as long as possible. Other people may be day traders, short-term traders, or trading the range. For example, if there are longies and shorties, they may trade the range in between them. Or they may do an intraday empty run trade. I've shown many of those examples. Other people may be breakout traders, and they skip any trades which are against the wrong position by nest. I mean, there are so many ways of applying the market causality, and of course you can also trade it straight. Yeah, you can trade the market causality as I have done manually. You can do that. Yeah, if you understand all the principles, all the meta levels, if you have invested some hours into studying and practicing. I suggest, if you want to do that, I suggest you to trade on demo, yeah, for at least, let's say, 2 months, okay? And document each trade the same way I've done it, invest the time, show the discipline, because if you manage to trade profitably in your own way, then, this is great. And then if you subscribe to the live stream, you can see the markets live and apply your strategy, Of course, from our side, there's no liability whatsoever. It's not in our control how you apply it. We do not give any investment advice or trade signals, okay? It's this is not a copy service or whatever. It doesn't fall into this category. We offer those tools and we explain how the market works. And it's up to you, and it's your responsibility how you use that to your advantage. And we have shown you, several ways by now of, using it. So, also I should say, the one thing which should be completely clear is, firstly, we live in those algorithmic times. Everything is computerized, and you need to have an edge. Otherwise, you just fall on the dumb money side and get hunted out eventually. So you need to take this, FX game very seriously. Otherwise there's no point being engaged in it. It's an expensive hobby if you do not take it serious and you don't want to put the hours to study it. So do you not save costs on the wrong end. If you see that the causality works for you, well, then subscribe. It can help you to get an edge, and this is something universal. It's not that you know, there's a time where the causality works and another time where the causality doesn't work. You know, it's not like a system or something like that which has a drawdown. However, there are periods which are easy and there are periods which are less easy, okay? And that should also be clear. When you look at the trade examples, you can see very easy trades. You see also more complex trades where you need to be aware that, you know, the dumb money is within the dumb money tolerance, or that, you know, the moving average stops on a day chart will be taken first, yes, or that, you know, the shorties are in profit, so the smart money algos need to push the price back up to pull them back into loss. Yeah, all these meter levels, you know, the market may be out of the range after several weeks of a trend. All these things need to be, you know, internalized. So, you know, you do not do oversimplify trades just against the dumb money and then you wonder, well, it worked before, why doesn't it work now? You see? So you need to differentiate, and if you studied this course here, if you watched all the videos, you took your notes, you understood it and you practiced, then you will understand the meter levels. And these are the final pieces of the puzzle. As you know, I've shown basic content for free online, yeah, even trades, but I haven't shown online the meter levels. This is only for the subscribers of this exclusive video course. So, you know, still, however, it's assumed that you already studied all the public stuff, yeah, the basic stuff. The educational videos on, you know, stop runs, on position runs, on the news, on the short-term games, you know, and then, you know, so the best way is to first study the public stuff, the educational videos, analyze the documented trades, then go back and you know, once you're subscribed to the video course, study the meter levels, then to study the trade collection, then to analyze it, then to whatever you would try to do, to try it on demo, and then you can go live. You know, if you want to do something based on causality and you subscribe to the live stream, so you see all this information live in front of your eyes. So that's at a minimum a multi-week process. You know, this is not a get rich quick scheme. Okay, it should be understood. You know, you have to understand the market causality in its entirety. If you want to trade in all market cycles based on the causality, yes. So if we are in a net dumb money scenario, but then suddenly there's a dumb money switch, you know, suddenly one side, the longest or shortest, get into profit. So you need to understand those scenarios and you need to differentiate. Okay, you need to apply all that knowledge. And at the beginning it can be a bit overwhelming, but if you do it over some time, it will be in your blood. And remember once more, this is knowledge which is universal. This is not a particular system which works under certain conditions. You know, this is how the market actually works. So no single minute which you invest in studying this material is a lost minute. In fact, you should be happy that there is this chance to actually study it, because most likely you would have never understood the actual FX market structure if I wouldn't have, you know, put efforts and invested into, you know, setting this here up and making it really understandable and intuitive. In the future, further things will come, you know. At some point, my book will come as well. But, you know, in the meantime, it's a smart move to, you know, study the course. And also use the forum on the website, you know, there you can discuss, you know, with other people. I will try to participate, and you can discuss with other people, like, you know, live market situations, questions you may have, and so on, you know. I will also offer, so I will do some kind of free blog probably on the forum where I post now and then, and I may also do a commercial blog where I do on a more regular basis, like some commentary. This is not investment advice. I will just comment on, you know, like the markets on a regular basis. I think I will do that at least for some time, I think. And in the end, you know, I think that, you know, you will be able to really understand what's going on in the biggest financial market in the world, who is moving prices, why are they moving prices they do, what will they do next. You know, it's not that difficult to figure that out. And you can, you know, achieve a very, very high win-loss ratio. And depending on your risk policy, risk management, and so on, the sky's the limit, so to speak, yes. Just make sure that, you know, the basic things such as the risk policy is in place, you know, It wouldn't make sense if you are very good at analysis, but then, you know, if for example you made a mistake in the analysis, or there's a dumb money switch and so on, that suddenly you're on the wrong side of the market, you know, but you don't have a plan in place, you know, what to do about it. So all this, you know, if you want to really manually trade the causality, you know, this has to be in place. It has to be proper. Otherwise, you can mess up any system. That should be clear as well. So yeah, this is what I would recommend to you. Of course, it's up to you what you do and how you use it. You know, please respect what was stated before. Do not, you know, share any of this exclusive content. You know, we will find out. So this is only for, you know, subscribers. It's not for the public. So the meter levels, you know, that's, you know, so to speak, like I wouldn't say the holy grail. You know, it's a bit like the last pieces of the puzzle, yeah, because they understand why sometimes certain position bars are allowed to get a bit into profit. You know, why sometimes a stop is not taken out, but another one first, etc. And of course, what you can do is you can pick any market and completely analyze everything on that basis, and you just wait for situations where the causality bias is high, so you have a high accuracy in your prediction, and then you can of course trade it at some point. You know, I mean, it's not that difficult. I wouldn't say it's rocket science, really. You know, everybody's different. I, you know, stick to my claim that a person with an average IQ and a high passion for the markets and high ambition will master it. Okay, it's not that difficult at all. You need to have the discipline. You know, do not be a Rambo and just place trades everywhere. Okay, instead, you know, be a sniper. Wait for the right situations and then place. Okay, do not over leverage. Do not try to, you know, abuse this for, you know, placing massive positions. Okay, be disciplined in everything you do. This is what trading is about. And no matter whether you're a super short-term scalper or whether you're long-term trader, it's the same. Okay, and by the way, this is valid for all trading styles in the world. Okay, whether it's stocks, whether it's ETFs, whether it's options, and so on. Okay, you need to have the discipline in that game. You need to wait if necessary, and of course, you need to also understand when to pull the trigger. This seems to be quite difficult for many people. They're either good on the defensive or on the offensive, but not at both. And this is basically what's required if you want to do FX. Okay, so I will distinguish, as always, between retail clients and corporate clients. Okay, these are two different packages, and to be honest, the main focus will be the corporate clients. Okay, because you can imagine on the dumb side you have many corporate entities which fall victim to this manipulation, so they are particularly interested. And those entities, they're not speculating. Okay, they're not trying to make huge profits by placing trades in the market. They try to hedge, but this will give them an edge to, you know, actually over some time period, you know, hedge in a much better way, which will save them millions and millions, you know, in funds. So, you know, for now I will also offer a retail package. But, you know, let's see how things develop. Maybe in the future, you know, it will only be corporate. This remains to be seen. But in any case, this won't be lost time and lost effort, because, you know, what you learn here is essential. Okay, it's really fundamental in FX. And most people do not even understand it. That's the most ridiculous thing, okay? They know that the market is somehow manipulated and rigged, you know, they see the reports in the news, but that's it. You know, they still fall for the lie that it would be about supply and demand and so on. It's not about supply and demand. You know, it's about like where is the dumb money positioned, where are the stops, and what will the smart money do next about it, yeah? Yes, so, and also, depending on the particular style you want to follow, you have to be focused on different things. So if you're, for example, a short-term trader, you should really also understand fake support, fake resistance, grail patterns, reversed grail patterns, head fakes, you know, the moves which lure people into the market, fake momentum, fake hypnosis, as you can see from the educational videos. You know, all these tricks, they should be, you know, you should study them, and then, you know, you will have a much better chance of being successful. And I'm quite excited to see, you know, in which way people will use it. You know, it's always interesting to see, you know, what people come up with as well. There are more than one way of doing things, but I'm confident that, you know, subscribers will understand and see the value of what is provided here. And it's definitely unique, you know, so if you want to use that stuff in any, let's say, academic context, please ask for my permission first, etc. So please respect the work which was done over a long time period, very intense work, 10,000 of hours, yeah. I always say, you know, there's a 30,000 hour rule for short-term FX. So it's 10,000 hours for a business, it's 20,000 hours if you want to do something in FX. If you want to do short-term FX, it's 30,000 hours. And that seems to be a pretty accurate rule, you know, if you study other traders, how long it took them, you know, to become successful and so on. It seems to always move around that number if they trade FX and not only in the long term. And of course, you know, treat it as a business. For example, do not try to be the master of the universe, okay? Keep your ego under control. For example, if you find one setup that works for you, let's say you always, if the price goes against the position bar nest, then there's a pullback. And then, you know, you go for the second trade. Only do this then. If that works for you, you know, then trade that only. If you only go for, let's say, inner range empty runs after the main target has been taken, and the price goes back into the range, only trade this one, you know? And of course, the more experience you have, you may want to, you know, increase your repertoire and add other setups to your repertoire, you know, and expand your scope. But go step by step, okay? Do not try to do everything at once. I believe if you watch like 6, 7, 8, 9 markets, okay? For example, on the hour chart, then, you know, you have enough setups. Yeah, you won't be able to trade every single day. There are slow days where you better don't do anything, but on some days you may have a handful of nice setups. And if you can stick to that rhythm, okay, you try to internalize that rhythm into your mindset, then, you know, nothing can stop you. Let me also say how I will do the live stream, okay? So what I will do is, and please be patient, so I will probably start with, let's say, 6 markets, the main markets, the big ones, and show them on an hour time frame, because that seems to be a nice mix of everything. And I will create a super template where basically all the meter levels can be seen in one go, you see? That's what I will start with. Then in the future, if the demand is high enough and people like it, I may add other markets, other time frames, etc., okay? But it takes time, okay? I start with a basic one and then I increase, and do not worry, if you're an early subscriber, you know, you will benefit from that. The same if you subscribe to the course, you benefited from all the bonus material. You know, I'm someone who always, you know, gives something on top normally. But I think the rules are very clear, okay? I'm not, this is not to give you any kind of investment advice. This is not to, you know, I'm not teaching you a strategy, okay? That's what people will not understand. I'm teaching you the market causality, the structure on a micro and macro level. I've shown you how I traded that and trade it, okay? And if you want to, you can learn that, the material I have provided to you with now. But it's really up to you how you use that in the end, okay? It's not up to me. I have no control over that, okay? And therefore, I once more emphasize, you know, study it first, okay? Do not fly a fighter jet, you know, after you read a 10-page manual. That won't work out well, you understand? You can't, you know, even if you would logically understand how to use all the controls, this is not enough, okay, to start, fly and land the plane safely. And that's the same here. And I've already done the work, okay? Imagine everything would be very messy or, you know, inconsistent, or would have changed, you know, indicators around. No, it's all completely consistent. It's all consistent. It's all documented. The material is there. There's a lot of material for you to study. So, you know, this will change forever the way you look at financial markets, okay? Understand, let me also say that if you deal with retail brokers, many retail brokers, those bucket shops, yes, who do not give you really certain prices, they will also add their manipulation to the price feed. This is on top of the intrinsic market manipulation I'm showing you with the market causality. So they may, you know, move the spread against you, or even do spikes which haven't been in the real market. They may use the slippage against you. All these kind of things, okay, I've also worked on somewhat, and this comes on top of the smart money algo manipulation. Make sure, if you're serious about trading, that you have a great broker who gives you an ECN, who doesn't, you know, do those nasty, unfair games against you. And on my website, you will also soon have some recommendations from my side. In which way I will do this, I will figure out when it's due. But I have some very good relationships to certain brokers who I've tested and who I know that they don't do these things. Unfortunately, many of the big retail bucket shops with the nice logos, you know, they are basically, you know, trading against their clients. They are dealing desk based, so, you know, they take the opposite of your position. So understand that this is another barrier, which is, you know, a layer of manipulation which comes on top of this market manipulation. Okay, that's the reason why so many people lose. Okay, the high percentage of over 90% of market participants losing in FX is because of that, the layer of the broker manipulation. Then, of course, here the main intrinsic market maker manipulation, the smart money manipulation. And after those two things, which already put you at a huge disadvantage, then, of course, you have to deal with the psychological things like mindset and discipline and, you know, psychology, emotions. This comes on top. So most people, they do not have, you know, the patience. So they lose it at some point and they just gamble, place in a big trade, and it goes against them and blows them out. Yeah, that's how most of the stories, you know, actually end. You know, this is the typical story. So a guy has some savings and he says, well, you know, if I put them in ETF, I make 2%. So what? I learn FX trading. I've heard one can make money there. They go, they pick one popular broker without having a clue. They place 20,000 there. They find some strategy, or they bought on the internet. They see some signals, some arrows, buy and sell, and they start trading live without having a clue what they're doing. They may, in the worst case, they have some lucky wins. So they think, oh, that's easy. I can live from this. And then they just blow it in a few trades, you know, and they blow it all, and then they are shocked, and then they are, well, actually it's not that easy, and then they study it, you know. This is how it goes most of the time. Don't be that guy, okay? Do not be that guy, you know. And if you have a strategy and there's a drawdown, look, this is part of trading, okay? Then continue what you're doing, yeah? So if you're only trading for yourself, and if 1 or 2 weeks you didn't work well enough, you made mistakes, and overall you're down, okay, so, but improve, continue what you're doing, okay? Do not just say, okay, you know what, I make now a trade, I make it all back what I lost over the week. These are beginner mistakes, okay? Don't be so stupid like, unfortunately, many people seem to be, okay? They completely lose it, and, you know, of course, when you, after you understood what the smart money is doing to everyone, like, how they play with the rhythm of the market, the timing, how sometimes the market gets very slow and does a 10-hour flat box, yeah, and people get really annoyed. Everybody has a breaking point. So they have incorporated all this into the market causality. The psychology, they know that day traders, they have to sleep at some point, they exploit that a lot. And hobby traders who also, you know, have a job actually, and they try to trade by the side and have a family by the side. I mean, you know, most of the time they will do some kind of long-term trading, but then, you know, they really need to, you know, decrease the leverage, have wide stops, you know, and go for long trades. It may take 2-3 weeks on average, you know. If that's what the best you can do, because, for example, you can't trade full-time, then, you know, do that, you know. I know there will be people, because you always have, you know, all kinds of characters. There will also be people who are able to, for example, just scalp, trying to scalp 1 or 2 hours per day in the evening, you know, as a hobby. Well, you can do that if you have a clear risk policy and you limit yourself to certain setups. Okay, then you may even be able to do that. It's difficult though, okay? It's easier to be a full-time trader, or if you are not a full-time trader, to you know, trade really in the long term. But if you have only limited time and you want to do short-term trading, you know, it's even more difficult than the other two options, I would say. But then again, everybody's different. Some people, they can make that work for them even better. Okay, last but not least, let me say I don't know how many subscribers I will accept, of course, yeah, because looking into the future, if it should really be that this year would become popular and I don't think it will. But if it becomes very popular and many subscribers are there, and you know they all place trades, and then suddenly the market changes, that will be interesting. And of course, there will be a point where you know everything should be scaled down, and maybe there are no new clients anymore. But let's see. You know, some people say such a threshold is very, very high. You know, remember that, for example, euro-dollar is the biggest market in the world, more than 5 trillion daily volume in transactions. So people say, you know, there's a long way to go. Well, these are things, you know, I'm analyzing, and we're going to see, you know, do things change at some point? Does the, but as you know, look, the smart money basically has nothing to fear. Because first of all, there will always be enough DAO money in the market. Yeah, people cannot just get around the FX market. And the vast majority of those participants, they will keep on doing the same mistakes. And you know, apart from the fact, by the way, that they take profits quickly and they let losers run, which is in itself a losing strategy. Yeah, but when you observe how the DAO money trades, you will see exactly that. If it goes a bit in their favor, they may take a few pips. But if it goes against them, they hold and hold and hold, and it makes the problems worse. They get a huge drawdown, they get a margin call, or they get closed out, and they get a huge loss. Maybe this has always been that way in some way, you know? People say these things are timeless, they won't change, and it's already, the machine is so efficient already that the smart money algos don't really to change anything from their side, because you know, for them it's a money machine. So why should they change anything? You know, they just try to keep the game going. The big entities pay their fines on a regular basis, and that's it. They're quite happy with that. Now, and here through this project, you have an opportunity to not be on the DAO money side, to protect yourself against the manipulation above all, yeah? To protect yourself against those nasty unfair stop runs, position runs. That is a proven and important service, yeah, which is delivered here, and I really recommend you to take this opportunity. I'm highly passionate about FX. I have really gone into depth, as you can see. It was a long way. Okay, it took many years. It was a lot of work, but you know, I decided to really do it, and I feel that after everything I've done for free online, this here is the next step, you know. So it took longer in the end than I planned, but I prefer to do things properly, you see. So rather than, you know, just putting something out there, I really, you know, sat down and invested the necessary time and resources to make this year happen. So I'm very excited about it. I'm excited with regards to, you know, how people will react, you know, how people will use it, etc. So, of course, you know, the smart money, if they see it, they may not like it, and they might try to, you know, do something about it. You know, I'm not naive, but, you know, let's see. Normally it doesn't really make sense for them to do that, because, you know, they're happy as things are, and things will not dramatically change in any way, you see. And of course you always have traders, very few though. You know, I know during my career I've maybe met 2 people who have, who are trading naked charts, and you know, who still kind of understand, at least partially, what kind of manipulation is going on, yeah. So it is super difficult. It is possible though, you know, and until this day they just trade naked charts. They use tape reading, you know, they have a certain position sizing and risk management policy in place. They may use a bit of indicators just to have some orientation, but not for trade decisions. So that one is also possible, but it's super difficult because, and interestingly enough, these people that tend to have explanations, and they know that the explanations are not completely correct, but it's enough for them to get a flavor of, okay, you know, they want to take out this price level. Here on this price zone, you know, they may do head fakes. That can be enough for some people who have a high talent for, you know, price action and tape reading to actually trade successfully. I've seen that. It's very, very, very rare though. So the chance that you are one of these people is very low. Okay, but you know, I definitely recommend anyone to put as much time as possible into tape reading and, you know, analyzing naked charts as well, you know, and price action. You know, there are some people who wrote books about it, and definitely, you know, do that as well. You know, what you will find is once you have used the market causality glasses, so to speak, you will always look at anything you see in FX through those glasses. Yeah, and that's what I do when I see, for example, and I've read a lot of books in trading, and nowadays I, for example, read a book and I know, okay, this is actually a stop run, this is actually a position run, this is actually an H4 reversal, this is actually a head fake. You know, these people who wrote the book, they don't know why the price moves that way, but they don't need to sometimes. You know, it's enough for them to recognize the setup. Yeah. Okay, I've talked a lot again. If you've got, look, please try to use the forum. Okay, do not you know, try to contact me personally and to send me, you know, questions and so on. I really prefer if you know, use the forum, so I can also answer questions there, and you know, I don't need to do it again and again, because to be honest, I've learned the questions which are sent to me are often pretty similar. So I'm not a big fan. I like automation, you know, I don't like to repeat certain tasks again and again. So please use the forum, post questions there, I may answer them if I have time, try to, you know, be active there. Feel free to use the other parts of the forum for your own stuff, you know, there's a place for many things. You know, you can present your own statistical strategy. You know, this is not limited to market causality. I want to make this a proper FX forum because I'm very unhappy with how the popular FX forums are run. Okay, I'm not happy with that. They are, you know, controlled by trolls and by bucket shops. Okay, they don't want good strategies and good threats to survive. They attack people. They try to, you know, to hide the truth from the dumb money. So, you know, that's the reason why I said, you know what, I'm also going for an own forum, which is really for serious traders. So understand there's strict rules. If you're not behaving in a professional manner, you will be kicked out. Okay? We don't want people attacking others, you know. We don't want people, you know, posting like, you know, racial, sexual, vulgar stuff. We don't want... You can have fun, that's all fine, but, you know, understand where the limit is. Okay? Do not do anything dodgy, because then you will be out. This is only for guys who really want to trade and who want to get better. Okay, so focused traders. This is not a dumb money pool where, you know, some retail brokers have some trolls, you know, entertaining like the rest. Unfortunately, all the major forums have come to that point, okay, because they've all been bought out, or, you know, they are marketing places. They are there to, you know, get clients, and since the burn rate from those bucket shops is so high, they need always new clients trying to trade, and so they can get their money. So this is the opposite, okay? This forum will be actually made from traders for traders, okay? And the content will be very good. And please respect, do not put on the forum anything about the meter levels. I may do a bit now and then, but you know, this is the commercial exclusive stuff. This is not for the public, because the forum is for free. People can subscribe, they can learn, they can discuss, it's all fine. But you know, please understand that, you know, if they want to really understand the meter levels, well, they can subscribe to the video course, you know. So be fair, you know, whatever you do, be fair, be reasonable, you know, do not do something stupid, because I have no tolerance, you know, for people, you know, trying to do destructive things, you know, disturbing others when they want to learn and study and improve. This has been done over and over again, you know, and this time is over, I can tell you that much. I may also do a separate video about that topic alone. And yeah, okay. I think things are rather clear. Please, before you ask questions, study first. So once you studied and you really did enough, you know, and you were serious about it, and then you still have questions, you want some guidelines and so on, then, you know, you post on the forum. I will check it out, and I will try to help in any way I can. I have a track record, a multi-year track record for, you know, helping people, okay, in different ways, you know, exposing market manipulation, taking risks myself, you know, in order to do that. I have done a lot for the industry, okay. I have exposed scammers. I have really gone for it, you know. I have, you know, exposed broker games. Of course, above all, I've exposed the market manipulation. I have, you know, interacted with other people in the industry. I've done quite a lot of things, okay? So I felt that this project here was the final step I needed to do. Of course, you know, I will also need to work more on the book, which is also a multi-year process. And once I find a good publisher and so on, I will put it out there as well. But these days it's not enough. You know, people want videos, they want interaction, they want it on the plate, really. You know, so that's what I did. You know, it was a good decision, I think, to first do the dynamic things, and then, you know, to do a more timeless project thereafter. I can't do everything at once neither, and above all, I'm a full-time trader. You know, above everything, I'm trading every single day. You know, I have a whole setup also at home, so sometimes I trade the night if I feel like it. You know, I always have an eye on the market. That's trading. Once a trader, always a trader, they say. You know, I'm doing a lot of different things. I'm doing automated strategies. I'm doing manual things. I'm doing all kinds of things you can imagine long term. So I'm really into. Some people would say an FX expert or whatever. You know, but I'm very careful with those expressions, because I'm also a big fan of Nassim Taleb, the author of the Black Swan, and I know exactly what he means. I studied economics as well at good schools and so on, but they have no clue what's going on in financial markets these days. You know, their stuff is from 40 years ago. It doesn't work that way anymore. You know, that's also what led me into doing this here, what I'm doing, you understand? Because I realized, okay, wait a second, you know, this is not how it works. It's not, you know, those supply and demand curves going up and down. You know, that's not what the market does these days. Okay, apart from the fact that, you know, we are since some time now in a digital revolution, and blockchain is coming in and all that. You know, that also will impact, you know, the market scene, and, you know, things will be changing a lot. You know, digitalization in the next years and decades. Okay, now I'm getting off topic, so I should really stop my my comments about those kind of topics here, I guess. Okay, last but not least, on the website I have the FX watch function. Okay, and I should really do a public video about all this as well. I will do that as well, but this year is exclusive. So you know, you can also use that. As you can see, I'm trying to improve the foreign exchange industry on all levels. Okay. And while my main passion is really the market causality, I will also work on, you know, keeping an eye on, you know, entities which are such as brokers, such as system sellers, and so on and so on. Yeah, and, you know, whenever I see a scam, whenever I see somebody, you know, engaging in fraudulent activity, trying to take advantage of people, trying to sell useless stuff, useless systems, CAs, indicator, whatever it is, you know, use the function and report it to me. Okay, what happens is this will be collected, and so I cannot say after 2 months this will be done. So first we're gonna collect, you know, all those kind of reports, and then we see, you know, what can be done about it. So that's another topic on its own. Yeah, and if we all work together, then, you know, we will change the industry for the better. You understand? And maybe I'm a bit too idealistic and naive regarding that, but no, I don't think so. You know, whenever in your life you see something going wrong, like here in that industry, you know, do something about it. Okay, do not be a sheep and just, you know, say, it has always been that way. No, you know, things have to change. You know, can you imagine? I don't want to know how many people there are in the West, for example, who got retired, who had some money on their account, and then they try to say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna take my 70,000 pounds and dollars or euros, and I'm gonna try to trade, and then they lost it all. You know, even though they're not stupid people, even though they try to, you know, make it work, and, you know, it got them in complete distress, and then I don't tell their wives whatever. You know. Unfortunately, that's not funny at all, and it happens over and over again. I hate that. You know, it's unfair. If this would be a fair game and people had a fair chance, it would be different, but it's not. So that's the reason why I'm out there. Okay, that's why, you know, I've done all those YouTube videos, why I'm doing this website, why I'm doing this video course, why I'm doing the live stream, why I'm doing the blog, okay? Because it would be selfish from my side to just trade. Okay, and not be involved with the world and, you know, the global society. That's wrong. Okay, it was my duty on different levels. And of course, you know, I'm running this here as a company because I needed to, you know, provide resources for that. And, you know, I decided to really go in, you know, in on this. I didn't want to do it half-heartedly. So, you know, it's absolutely legitimate, of course, that, you know, I'm running a business, okay, which needs revenues. And of course, as you can see from YouTube views and so on, it's a small industry. We're not talking about massive amounts of people trading around the world, believe it or not, okay? So the best trading channels really didn't buy any clicks or subscribers. You know, look at their clicks and views and subscribers. We're not talking about massive amounts here at all. But, you know, if there are always ways in life to make things work. And as I said, my target group is really corporates. You know, I want to make this year, you know, available particularly to corporates. And also hedge funds, for example. You know, hedge funds, they all have currency exposure. Some of them trade FX, you know. They are the ones who will love that stuff, you know. So of course, you know, I do what I can. Let's see whether all this works out in the end. I don't know, you know. In life, nothing is guaranteed. Maybe it doesn't work out. But, you know, at least I tried everything I could. I believe that I did a good job. Things can always be improved. Let's see whether I will manage in the end to have also enough IT power to, for example, have many more charts, many more time frames. This is all technical stuff then I need to figure out. Be patient with me, please. You know, I've done what I could and the ball's on your side. You know, there's enough for you to work on and, you know, work yourself up bit by bit. And then this way we can grow together organically, I think. Okay, I just thought, you know what, this is a video for subscribers, and I will right now also do maybe a public one for the channel. Some points may be repetitive, but it's important for people to understand these things. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for, you know, looking into this, supporting this work, you know. If you're someone who donated, thank you so much. I will try to keep you updated, okay? If you have suggestions, whatever it is, you know, feel free to send them over and so on. And above all, you know, make sure you don't end up on the dumb money side. Stay safe, ladies and gentlemen.